Boo. Is Outer Wilds supposed to be a Halloween game? This is Outer Wilds, the Archaeologist edition on the Nintendo Switch, which is probably the worst way to play this game. This cartridge was provided by the Maryland Library System. This is actually a Giant Bomb's Game of the Year 2019, I believe it was. Yeah, it was 2019, I want to say. It beat Control. But the important thing, I first played this game at the Smithsonian Indie Game Showcase back in the summer of 2024. Which is weird because, again, this is not a game you really want to play on a Nintendo Switch, I would argue, because I played it for like 10, 15 minutes. It's like, this looks like a laptop. This looks like a low-spec laptop version of a game that's meant to be played on a more conventional console or a PC. I do love obviously your boy loves the fact that the Nintendo Switch has become like the indie machine of choice. But of course, when the Steam Deck came out, it was sort of based on the idea, yeah, you can play all of them, well, not all of them, but most of your like PC games in the palm of your hand. Like, that was always the dream of the Switch in a way, if we're being honest. We'll do auto, I guess. Yeah, we'll leave that as auto. All the text should be in English, of course. Pour one out for Annapurna's dev partners, because apparently I think they unceremoniously canned everybody earlier this year, so it's kind of an awkward time to be playing this game. I think this is the first Annapurna game I've played on this channel, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because they did a couple of other games that were apparently like pretty interesting games. I think Stray was their best selling game. But yeah, this is supposed to be the game you're supposed to play if you're interested in Annapurna as a company. I will be playing more Annapurna games eventually, I assume, because they're probably already in my Steam library and I've never touched them before, or I am going to be playing games like this anyway. Because Outer Wilds has been on my to watch list for years. It's one of those games I never really feel compelled to go out and play. But I didn't really read much about this game, so my impression of it, and again, since I'm kind of going in blind, I guess. My impression of it is that it's kind of like Majora's Mask, which is to say, it's a gameplay loop based on I don't want to say it's a permanent fail state. You're on a timer constantly, so it's run based, but because you're supposed to die, you're supposed to replay the parts of the game that you failed to do earlier, so that you can get a little bit more progress, like Majora's Mask, because you're constantly on the timer. But again, I'm not going in with a whole lot of expectations about what this game is. I'm just trying to figure out the basics of how to approach it. This does not sound like the kind of game I'm supposed to sit around roasting marshmallows. This feels like the opposite of that. This is supposed to be a game where you're constantly dealing with the tension of being on a clock, right? Which I believe was the reason Jeff Gerstmann was having so many problems enjoying it. Yeah, this is where I started. So when I was playing this game at the Smithsonian showcase, I was trying to get. This is the part of the game that I was messing with. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. So horizontal thrust, ZR and ZL. Funnily enough, when people were trying to play this game, when there was no one around, someone decided to go to the Switch menu and then play Smash Brothers instead. So people were playing Smash Brothers for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then one of the curators came by and said, "Yeah, it's a great game, but that's not why the Switch is here." I guess someone brought a Switch that had Smash Brothers on already installed on it. Was it still flying? Yeah, it's still flying. But I thought that was hilarious. They're like, yeah, like everyone loves Smash, but this is a museum, and this game is supposed to. This Switch is dedicated to this one game. We don't want people to just go around and just re- switching the games that are on display here. And I understand it. Like, if you're playing No Man's Sky on the PS5, you don't want people to just You don't want people to just turn it off and just switch to like Warframe or something, you know? So this is kind of cool. I can see someone like spending like all day just doing this. Kids like the remote control cars. We good? Whoop. Thought I had it. There we go. So if nothing else is good practice. Whoops. Oh, I couldn't see. I couldn't see where the. Okay, so I can kind of use the thrusters to kind of use the physics on this thing. Whoops. Okay, now I need to turn the ship around. I need to turn it around. My controls got flipped. My controls got flipped. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, never mind. My controls got flipped because the camera's permanent, so the controls are relative. So when the ship got turned around, I got all confused and discombobulated. Anyway, it's enough of that. But yeah, me and a whole bunch of people were spending like several minutes just messing around with the ship. But I did want to get kind of a feel for how the game ran, so I did this for about 5 minutes too, just to kind of see how the game played. And it was like, okay, this looks like my laptop. Like if I were trying to play Outer Wilds on my laptop, this is how it would look. Which isn't awful, like it's playable, 30 frames a second, but it looks really rough. Like if this game had been built from the ground up to be laptop friendly, it would look a lot better than this. This looks like a PS4 game that's been downported and all the polish has been scrubbed off of it so that it runs. Yeah. So yeah, it feels like a laptop. It feels like a laptop port with all the settings turned down, which is what a lot of developers do when they make games for the Switch. They turn all the settings down to like VGA settings and just let just let the Switch just scrape by. They'll just struggle just to run the game at 25 frames a second sometimes. Yeah, when Switch 2 comes out, I'm curious if the game just runs better. Yes, I mean, if the Switch 2 has to be backwards compatible, Nintendo would be throwing away so much money if they made people buy these games all over again. I mean, in my mind, this system's going to be backwards compatible. It's going to be like the Game Boy Advance, and I mean, the Wii U proved that they can muck everything up, but it also kind of proved that, like, that was the thing. I think the Wii U was probably too gimmicky to like sell, even more gimmicky than the Wii was. So it's probably too gimmicky to really sell people on what it was trying to do with that dumb gamepad, that dumb TV gamepad, the second screen. But I mean, I guess they lean too hard into the. I think they lean too hard into the Launch Scout. I can't aim up or down. Take a snapshot. Okay, that's cute. Okay, so if you want to see over a hill, that might be amusing. And I do like the orbiting moons. Retrieve Scout. That's cute. Okay. So you kind of send it over the mountain just to kind of see what's up. That's kind of cool. I do kind of like this slingshot. Oh, wrong button. I do kind of like this slingshot. Can I leave? Yeah, put it away. I do kind of like the slingshot vibe they got going on here. Like you're basically leaving the planet. You basically reach escape velocity with slingshots and tiny rocket. Yeah, I guess the whole idea is like, what's that movie? Bottle Rocket. Yeah, Bottle Rocket. Like the whole vibe seems to be like, what if you know your the model rockets in your backyard were actually part of an exploration based game, like a Boy Scouts and bottle rockets. I that is a vibe I can get behind. So I can understand the. So I think there is an indelible charm to the concept of what this game seems to be doing. So the clock isn't ticking yet. Eventually it will tick, but I'm just kind of. I mean, I'm gonna come back and play this game later. This is just me, just kind of mucking around with it. Ghost matter. Okay, I can't. I can barely read that. It's a pocket of ghost matter, a strange and dangerous substance that's invisible. Okay. So we can use the PKE reader, huh? So don't muck around with ghost matter, I guess. Oh, okay. They said it's painful. Was he just being cheeky when he said it was painful? Okay. Ooh, zero G cave. So we're all just aliens then, right? Yeah, we're all just aliens. Is he missing an eye? He just doesn't wear a patch? Yeah, I thought I might see you before the big launch with all three of your eyes. He literally has a third eye, but I think he just lost his fourth. I'm a little nervous, yeah. I got better. Yeah, again, I didn't know. I didn't even. First of all, I didn't know this was an Annapurna game. It might not be. It might have been developed by someone that Annapurna just published for the Nintendo Switch. Like I want to say Hello Game. Like did Sony? I want to say Sony originally published No Man's Sky, and then Hello Games decided to self-publish it after that. But yeah, like this is one of those games where people are like, you know what, AAA games suck. I hate AAA games. And then this game comes out, and it's like it's a totally different vibe. Like it's immersive. It's supposed to be immersive and charming, experimental, and kind of emotionally impactful, dynamic. Like it's the vibe that this game. I've been told this game is supposed to be a game that's sort of like an experience, not really so much of a. It's not a spectacle in the AAA sense. It's supposed to be intimate, and I think that's what people talk about when they talk about video games as an art form and the kind of things where this is what video games can be if you aren't just trying to make like if you aren't just trying to monetize mechanics. You know what I mean? If you just give people an experience that it gives people like a tactile, intimate experience. So I kind of am interested. Like I hope this game is good, but I haven't really invested. I haven't really invested in looking into what it's actually about, or I haven't invested a whole lot of research into that. I'm kind of going in blind. The Zero's G cave, huh? Okay, tough. Yeah. So brother man that we just spoke to upstairs was missing an eye. Getting some zero G time in. Hmm. You don't look fine. Okay. Not so tough, huh? That's okay. Wait, is there something here? Yeah, there's horizontal thrust. What? Oh, so I guess if I'm falling, there's a horizontal thrust I can apply. Okay. So anytime I'm falling, there's a risk of horizontal thrust. Okay. Okay, and there's a ground pound, like a down thrust. Okay. Do they want me to grab any of this stuff? Oh, I can't interact with this, huh? I guess I can like, I can stay on it, stand on it. Yeah, and there's all from the first person, which would make sense. Guess what's all from the first person. So when I'm flying, the flashlight's on. Guess just try flying down there. Ow! Gotta work on that. Or you can use the left stick for a horizontal thrust. Okay, that helps. Okay. Okay, so I can try the left stick. So I can use the left stick for that horizontal thrust. Okay. Ow. Something got repaired. Well, I'm still in the 0G cave, I hope. Lock on. I can match velocity. Oh, we're completely 0G. Okay. Match velocity. Have to hold the button down. So now I can slow down by matching velocity, I guess. Huh. Yeah, this could be really interesting if they commit to the bit, and I hope they do. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Whoops. That video games. And see, low polygon count. The art holds up. Okay, so we're just mucking around at this point. So match velocity. So how do I repair this? We have to get closer. So once I match velocity, I can stop myself. Okay. So how do I repair it? Yeah, what do they want me to do to repair this thing? There we go. Hold the watch. You have to get close enough. Okay. So here's your practice. It's like an Armageddon. So is there another repair thing I have to do? Uh, yeah, so where should I go from here? Is my flashlight on? Oh, wait, I see another broken thing. Just a second. You can roll by holding L and then pressing R. Okay. We just want to get close enough to match velocity. Maybe we can't. Can I still get closer to it? So am I not repairing that? I might be repairing something else then. Yeah, so let's repair something else. Okay. So maybe I'm not repairing that. I'm repairing this. So match velocity to slow me down. That I can get a bit closer. Then hold the A button down to stop myself. There we go. And now I can repair it. Okay. Eh. Again, you have to kind of feel the physics here. We're doing Solar Jetman in 3D, and that could go very poorly for everybody. Um, is Solar Jetman on the rare replay? I don't think it is. But Solar Jetman, I remember Solar Jetman is one of those games I'm supposed to actually get around to playing. So if I have it on my rare replay, I'll pull it out eventually. So I'm repairing a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. Let me see if there's anything else I can. Ow. Is there something obvious that's like lit? There it is. I probably have to go inside then. Yeah, I might have to go inside and repair that. Okay, that would make sense for the kind of game this is. Match velocity. Let's go ahead. Get closer. Hold match velocity. What? Careful, careful. Match velocity. Let's get a tiny bit closer. Now we can hold down the Y button. So you match velocity to slow down, to like air brake, I guess. Okay. That seems kind of cool, actually. Obviously, it's not all we're going to be doing in this game, but yeah, that is kind of interesting. And again, I like the idea of having like, Boy Scout pitching a tent with wood set up as space exploration. That is kind of a cool vibe. That is kind of cool. Like I said, literally space camp. Literally space camp. Yeah, Annapurna space camp. Okay, I'm done. So now what? How do I get out of here? How do I get out of this chicken mess outfit? Guess I just come back the way I came. I also don't remember where I came. Uh-oh, I'm running out of juice. So I can't afford to just explore the way I did earlier. this is where Gerstmann bounced on the game. Okay, so now that's complete. What do I do? Well, let's go down there. So I have to go up to get out? Possibly. Yes, feels like a regular cave. Yes, it's a regular cave. There he is. And I'm done. Give me the dirt. Is anything on fire? Mining's easy. No real tricks to it. Skyrim once told me. So how do I get out? Like, I don't remember how I got in. So this is also that problem. Uh, yeah, I don't know how I got here. How do I get out, dog? Yeah, dog, how do I get out? So we don't go out that way. No, I don't go up there. Okay, then here, like I say, here's the problem. Okay, we have to leave this way then. Okay. Yeah, maybe this is how I got in. Yeah, that's how I got in. Okay, now I found my way out. Wow, I was worried there for a second. No waypoints. Maybe the game's teaching you that there's no waypoints. I'm just saying. So the plan is to take this back to the library and get borrow some bandwidth, upload some more files, and it's gonna be kind of cold this weekend. So I was supposed to go see the colors, but I'm going in the wrong direction to be. I should have gone to West Virginia. I might end up doing that on the way back, but I gotta do it before the sun goes down. So I gotta go all the way out to Howard County before, and the colors haven't really changed out there, actually. I could probably go to Ellicott City. There are a couple of video game stores I guess I could visit down in Ellicott City. But yeah, the plan was to go to the mountains, which I could probably still do tomorrow if I'm willing to record the football games. It's that time of year the colors are changing, so it was like 80. It was like 80 degrees earlier this week, but I think we're done for the year. I think we've seen our last 80 degree. No, no, there's one more 80-degree day this year. Probably later this week. Like just like right on, there will be 80 degrees on Halloween, which is insane for DC. Here in the Fallout 3 area, it's usually in the 50s, 50s and 60s. And then we have to roll the clocks back next week, so we get an extra hour of sleep if you gotta have it. Me, I've been going to sleep early, all week, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Backpack. So what do I do now? I did the zero G cave. So yeah, now I'm curious where to go. Yeah, for all you indie developers who want to make a game like this, well, the problem is 3D physics are hard, but there's something to be said for a game where if you did this in a top-down format, you could probably do like a Solar Jetman like game, like, a 2D game with similar physics if you're willing to commit to it. If you're willing to commit to the bit, you can do like a Solar Jetman game like this, I'm sure. So who was the guy who had the missing eye? Yeah, who was the guy with the missing eye? And so this is Annapurna's Wings of Oniamis, huh? The Japanese animated film from the what was it, the mid '90s? Gainax did that one. Some of an infamous Act Two sequence about the protagonist gets drunk in front of his girlfriend. Are we the Nomai people? I'm excited. It's video games. What could possibly go wrong? New statue? So maybe they were monkeys. Here we go. Uh, oh yeah. Gravity, sure. Is this, well, this is nominally an educational channel, but uh, I'm not the Neil deGrasse Tyson of video games just yet. You'd actually do some actual, physics before I could be. I haven't taken physics since university. And even then, I wasn't training to be an astrophysicist. But AP Physics was wild. I took it in I took AP Physics in high school. It is kind of wild to talk about like forces. Like it's kind of fun to talk about Newtonian math. Like yeah, gravitational force. What is the counter? Yeah, what is the counter force to gravitational pull? Well, it's support force because gravity is pulling you towards the center of well, the center. Gravity is always pulling you towards the center of an object, but what's keeping you up? Like the ground, okay, like why aren't you just collapsing into a pile of mush once you hit the ground? Well, your bones basically. Your bones are your support force. You don't collapse to the ground, because the earth is pulling on you constantly. So support is keeping you upright. Muscles keep you upright, that kind of thing. They just generically call it support force. So if there are downward forces, there are upward forces. If you're driving a car and you're driving 60 miles an hour, air resistance is pushing against you, that kind of thing. But if you're in 0G and there's no air, then you have to use thrusters to push you in the opposite direction, like you just saw. But again, we're not doing astrophysics here. I have Astroneer on the Xbox One lying around here. I've been meaning to get around to that. That's supposed to be Minecraft in space, right? Again, another game I'll probably get around to playing. I probably should have played it because I was going to get around. I do own No Man's Sky on the Nintendo Switch. I bought it for $10. Again, like this game, the worst way to play No Man's Sky is on a Switch, but it's functional on a Switch. Apparently, most of the mechanics are there on the Switch. There are no settlements like there are in the PlayStation 4 or the PC versions. I've been told. I mean, I have a video where I was playing the what is it? The settlements on the PS4 version. But I've been told they don't exist on the Xbox on the Switch version. I think I'll start with something small. Yeah, it's a very sensible plan for a research stream, which is what this technically is. Uh, okay, Elon, chill off, chill out. Yeah, so again with the Elon Musk references. So now I guess I can add this video to my uh, Deliver Us the Moon playlist, of which there's only one video. It's the video where I explain the shared universe between Terminator, Bots Master, and I think what was the other cartoon I explained it with? It was Terminator, Bots Master, and one other anime I'm forgetting. But where are we? Okay, we're here at Timberhearth. The Dark Bramble. Darkness. Yeah, Dark Bramble, the best kind of bramble. So where are we going? Uh, Where are the other travelers? So I guess we can meet up with them. Oh, tell me more about feldspar. Isn't that supposed to be a mineral or something? He's one of the foundational travelers, like the yeah, like the Justice League, it's Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Green Lantern, right? Well, no, wait. Well, I thought there were only four. So was Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, and Green Lantern? Nah, I'm good. Sorry. Hit the microphone there. I'm playing with a Plantronics headset, just so you know. Yeah, I'm very curious how I'll feel about this game. I'm not going to be able to get very deep into it in this video. It's just a research stream. And I don't have any launch codes. When am I supposed to get the launch codes? Yeah, we're going to do the whole Big Bang thing? Because I know it's a whole thing where it's like, you know what? We'll go along with the big. We will go along with the Big Bang until we find a better explanation. It probably involves quantum, and no one understands quantum really. Like the argument was, what was the argument was something like in 19 yes, someone made the observation that the leap in graphical fidelity from like the PlayStation 1 era to the PlayStation 2 era is unmatchable. And it's not unreasonable because the complaint that video game graphics can't, get appreciably better than they can't get appreciably better than they are now is because one, it's mainly the limitations of computing. Without getting geeky about it, in 1999, video game graphics were transitioning from 2D to 3D, and the computers weren't fast enough to really do like photorealistic three-dimensional models. So they were inevitably left with, abstract art, like Atari looking games. Mario 64 was less visually complex than Yoshi's Island, which was a 2D game. Because 2D art had advanced, pixel art had advanced to the point where you can get really sophisticated. You can add a lot of detail. You can add a lot of animation cycles. And you had fixed cameras basically, so it was easier to develop around that aesthetic. Frame rates dip into the 20s here, unfortunately. It's not terrible though. But obviously, by the time the PlayStation 1 came, like N64, PlayStation 1, Saturn, the original Tomb Raider, games couldn't look that good because the computers weren't sophisticated enough or fast enough to make very detailed models and very detailed environments in real time. Even movies needed freaking server farms with supercomputers. Like, you can't make Toy Story without an army of supercomputers in a server farm. You can't. There's no way you could have made Toy Story on a video game console that was $500. You couldn't make Toy Story on a Neo Geo. You couldn't make Toy Story on a Pentium 100 back then. You need an army of those things. Because the amount of detail in the art in that movie is too difficult to render quickly. So it takes like hours to render 2 frames of animation, maybe one. So you need an army of computers to do like a scene that lasts several seconds. So we're talking about a movie that plays at 24 frames a second, but it takes hours, if not days, to produce a second of movie footage for that movie. You can't do that in a video game. Not back then. You arguably can't do it now without a whole bunch of compromises. Like ray tracing makes lighting way easier, but back in the the what don't know what happened there. But that's what I mean. In the mid 90s, the mid to late 90s, there was just no expectation that movie level art, movie level aesthetics could be done in real time. Movies could do it and then record it and then play it back. Video games have to be interactive. You can't record, you know, one frame of footage every 5 seconds. Now, if you did, it'd be like a time lapse. You know what I mean? Oh, that's how you walk on the walls. Oh, okay. So that's how you can walk on the walls. Okay, we're not gonna do that. So how do I get out of here? I kind of want to get out of here. Did I go the wrong way? I kind of got discombobulated. But yeah, when the PlayStation 2 came out, it's like, okay, now we have higher frame rates, but the models aren't that sophisticated. Then the PlayStation 3 came around, the models got more sophisticated. We could throw around more polygons, but the games got slower. Because I think we kind of got ahead of our skis. We committed to lower frame rates so that we can get higher fidelity. And now the PlayStation 5 is out, and now we're back to the idea where, okay, let's make PlayStation 4 games that run at PlayStation 2 levels of PlayStation 2 speeds. So yeah, fidelity has improved, but again, if you remember, even the PlayStation 5 Pro when it eventually comes out, you can't lean into like that really expensive real-time lighting solution that ray tracing is supposed to be. You can't do it; it's too expensive. Unless your game looks like freaky. Uh-oh, kind of choppy there. Unless your game looks like Minecraft, are you going to be able to do any video game at 60 frames a second with ray tracing? Really? I mean, you can. Like if your game looks like Tetris or Geometry Wars, yeah, you can do 4K 60 with ray tracing all you want because there's very little rendering that needs to be done. But if you're making a game like this with ray tracing, how many polygons do you have to have on screen before it just becomes too demanding? You're asking the computer to do too much math at any given time. Too much math too quickly is always gonna hold us back. That was the problem with the PlayStation 1. Too much math too quickly. So you had to compromise by making less detailed models. How do I get out of here? I don't even remember how I got in here, if I'm being honest. Okay, let's just see if I can remember the way out of here. Yeah, it is that kind of game, man. There are no waypoints. There's no map, which I guess is kind of the point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember how I got here. Okay, maybe this is how I got here. Uh-oh, something just happened. I lost control of the camera. Didn't I see this in that Paul movie? Guess the game automatically saved. And I think it's loading. I think it might just be automatically saving. I can't tell. I can't move, so. I can't move. So I guess this video is mainly just to like have a frame rate test. I mean, the real test is to actually leave this planet and see how chunky the game gets. Now, let me check on something. I'm recording this on on a, what is it? A J4 Create 4K UHD device. Is it a J5 Create? It's a J5 Create. So yeah, this is patched somewhat. I don't think I've ever seen a physical copy of this game on the PlayStation 4, which I think would be ideal for a game like this. But I need to check. I don't think this game has DRM. I can double check the PC Gaming Wiki to see if it has DRM. Because remember, if the game doesn't have DRM, you can, get it from Steam and play it on any computer you want. You don't need to be on Steam. You can be offline. Yeah, it's like one of those movies. Good luck and safe flying. Oh crap! I also get vaccinated eventually. Yeah, we'll slide that in on the way to the library. I got time. But we're gonna end this video in about half an hour, so we're gonna end up doing a whole bunch of stuff. Cause on Sunday I'm gonna clean up. It's that time of year, dog. I'm gonna bust out the pizza. Yeah, my freezer is stuffed, man. I need to stop buying crap at the store. My freezer's full of like vegetables and processed breaded chicken products. I gotta dial back. But I was kind of preparing myself because it was on sale, so I had to commit to the bit and stock up. I can't not buy I can't not buy frozen food that's on sale if it's a good price. It's how your boy stashes. Like when winter comes, I'm not gonna want to leave the house. I'm gonna have like 3-month-old breaded chicken and a whole bunch of vegetables to eat it with. Can't save. Can I doze off now? How long am I supposed to be sleeping? Okay. Wasn't paying attention to what he said, but anyway. Okay, so where are we going? Yes, I know how to jump in a video game. Oh, you have to squat and then release. Okay, so you're holding down the A button to like squat and then jump. So every jump is a squat jump. Guess I already did that. Okay. So what's the way out? What landing? I don't remember doing anything. I thought I crashed that thing like 5 or 6 times. Anyway. But yeah, you can see how like jagged all the edges look, all smeary, all like I guess the anti-aliasing isn't really working that well. Maybe they're trying some TAA. I don't know if they're using some temporal anti-aliasing to kind of clean things up. It's not really working. But compare this to like Alien Isolation, which is apparently one of the best looking Switch games. It looks better than the PS4 version does, because the PS4 version apparently had no anti-aliasing. So the Switch version comes out and they clean it up with a TAA solution that works with the art style they're using. So Alien Isolation, so the best looking console version of Alien Isolation is supposedly the Switch version. Now I have no intention of playing that game anytime soon. I think it's like a $5 game now, so maybe I'll play it. It just doesn't seem that interesting, honestly. I mean, it's the problem that most people have with horror games generally. It's that horror games, for people like me, horror games aren't interesting. Like I'd much rather play something like a Castlevania or like a Fallout or a Castlevania or or Ghouls and Ghosts or an Elden Ring than an actual like horror game. But yeah, stealth action can be interesting in a horror game. Obviously, the question is like most stealth games I play are about stealth action, not necessarily about stealth combat. Like the ability to sneak around and like not, have to get into confrontations with enemies is still interesting in the right context. Like to me, I'd much rather play a game like Deus Ex: Mankind Divided than a horror game. Not because I'm trying to like shoot people, because I know I can like, gather loot and like choke people out and kind of like just kind of get around without having to worry about the nonsense that comes with a horror game, where you're basically just running around and dealing with insta fail states. Because that was kind of the problem. Apparently, that was one of the major problems people had with Alien Isolation. Is that yeah, it's a horror game, but too much of the horror game is based on just running and hiding, and if an alien sees you, maybe shooting your flare gun, but mainly just, in other words, there's the satisfaction of surviving is constantly up against the tension of just not being able to fight back. So failure almost always seems inevitable. It never seems that you can get out of any situation. I guess the complaint is that there are too few ways to interact, so the game becomes boring because you spend most of your time playing hide and seek. At which point, not everyone wants to play hide and seek in a video game. unless the hiding and the seeking is really good. Like again, in an exploration game, which apparently that game was supposed to be, it works. But are you mainly exploring or are you mainly just hiding? So I'm leery about that game. I might end up renting it from the library for free. But it's the kind of game I would never buy unless I can sell it, get a little money back. Like a $2 rental seems fine. A library rental seems fine for a game like that. I've never seen it at the library though. Yeah, so you're that guy from the Phalanx cover, right? Google that when you get a chance, or Bing that. If you're watching this video in the future, maybe Google's been destroyed because of the AI. Skynet took over with Google AI, and now it's now the people think the Phalanx cover is an architectural item, I guess. Yeah, imagine like some video game covers are like so like random that they almost feel like fraud. Like any Atari game with any cover to an Atari game is fraud, except maybe Crystal Castles. The covers are like these incredibly elaborate like genre book covers, like paperback novel covers, and the games just look like freaking like they're yeah, that's what they are. They're stick figure games. Like the cover for Real Sports Football, the cover for the football game on the Atari 2600 is like something out of like a poster for ABC Monday Night Football. Then you play the game and it's like, yeah, it's not even stick figures. It's like squat block men, like the guys from Demons to Diamonds. It's barely a football game. It's barely a video game. I don't remember football is apparently terrible. I haven't played it in 3 decades, but I haven't played football in 4 decades. That's how old that game is. That's how old I am. The game is older than I want to say the game is actually older than I am. But anyway, young Bart Crater, young boy, young boy MC. Okay, so where are we going? I did. Where's the launch? Yeah, so maybe this is why Jeff didn't like the game. Where do I go? The game doesn't tell me anything. Well, you're supposed to explore. I'm like, that's why people hate video games. So I guess I need to go that way. There is a day-night cycle. Is there fall damage in this game? We're gonna find out. I think I died. Yeah, I died. Should not have done that. Well, we have fall damage in this game. I expected fall damage in this game. I expected the pull of gravity. Previously on the Outer Wilds Archaeology Edition. It's Archaeologist Edition, sorry. Mobius, they're the developers. Never heard of them. 2024, huh? Published by Annapurna under the exclusive license. Still loading. Yeah, it's a time loop. Everyone loves it. I mean, every video game is a time loop. Any game with extra lives is a time loop, for being honest. There's another conversation to be had about this later, but I think most movies about time loops are just like people really like time loop movies. Groundhog Day and Day After Tomorrow are fine, but I think what's the other movie? Skycrawlers. Most of these movies are just like they're trying to do video game structures like that by like repeating the movie over and over again. And I'm sure there are I'm sure someone wrote their PhD thesis about video game narrative structures and the time loop movie. Groundhog Day and how I learned to stop worrying and love the time loop structure, I guess, in cinema. I don't know. Cinematic time loop narratives. Yeah, I need the launch codes. Wait, did I just die? Yeah. So I guess I got the codes. No, I don't got the codes. Yeah, I didn't get the codes. Okay, so I don't see the launch codes at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So I'll head over to where the ship is and see if the game wants me to go back to the observatory, because I'm pretty sure I already went to the observatory. Here we go. So now we got the launch codes. Okay. Problem solved. Yay. We're going in. We got magic wood. It teleports me into the ship. Now I got a map. That's not the map I was looking for, but anyway. Where are we going? Just pick a place. I don't care. Buckle up. Back it up. And we're going to lift off. An hour into the video, we're going to lift off. We're going to end the video pretty soon, so we're going to tease the next part of the video, I guess. So I was wandering around for an hour. I didn't really do anything of interest. Well, that was easy. Yeah. So easy Elon Musk could do it with a bunch of help from some very smart people who actually do the science. So we'll lock on. Uh-oh. Hold on. We're falling back to that. I was trying to I was trying to leave. Hi guys. Let's try again. Can I launch? Let's try that again. We're using like Mario Odyssey like planetoids, right? Like Mario Galaxy planetoids. Ah, those tree models, am I right? So I gotta lock on. Yeah, lock on. And match velocity. Let's see if we can get onto the Addle Rock. Maybe we don't want to go to the Addle Rock. Engage autopilot. Okay. So now we're gonna accelerate towards that thing. Okay. Yeah, autopilot sounds amazing. Landing mode with the Y button. Okay, so we're gonna match. We're gonna get into orbit, and then we're gonna launch. ZL. So once we match gravitate, once we enter the planet's orbit. Whoops, that was way too hard. Well, that was dumb. That was very dumb what I just did. Do I have to repair the ship? Unbuckle. I have to repair the ship. That was incredibly dumb what I just did. Neil deGrasse Tyson of video games, am I right? Yeah. That! Well, here I am. That was very dumb what I just did. Okay, so I match velocity. And how do I land? There's no autopilot. Horizontally, let's get closer. That! And I broke all my legs. Yep, broke all my legs. Well, I'm not gonna call myself the first dog in space, but Snoop Dogg here broke his legs. Snoop Dogg broke all his bones. Oh well. We do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Speaking of things that are hard, how are my bones knit? Yeah, man, I don't know. I think maybe I should stay home and like just play banjo, like what's her name from the Phalanx video game. Yeah, the what's her name from yeah, she's a Phalanx reference. This entire game is probably a Phalanx reference. The audio aesthetic is probably a Phalanx reference. No, we're gonna end this video pretty soon. You know the ship is a death trap, right? You're lucky I'm in a time loop, otherwise I'd be super dead. So we're committing to the bid, huh? Yeah, why do you suddenly care about safety? You know, the writing's actually pretty good in this game. I appreciate that. Compared to, say, oh, I don't know, Horizon Forbidden West. Like, what time loop? What are you talking about? There's no time loop. You're clearly off your nut. Find in rumor mode. Okay, it's amazing, but who cares? Oh, so now we can add HUD markers. Okay, so now there's now there's a waypoint system, huh? Okay, so I guess we'll probably do that before we end the video. Oh, so we got a rumor tree. Like it's a mind map, an actual mind map. A mind map and an actual map. Your boy loves maps. I didn't know this was a whole thing. Okay. I guess we can go to Adel Rock, see what we can find before we end the video. Let's try not dying horribly the next time we land on the planet. Sounds like a good idea. I would say this video got a lot better in the last couple of minutes. Here we go. So I guess I get to heal myself inside of that medical nook. It's not even a closet, it's like a nook. Keep going, keep going. I want to fall back. So we've reached escape. Let's stop flying to the sun. Sounds like a bad idea. Sounds like a horrible idea. Okay, so where's Adel Rock? We could just ignore Adel Rock, I guess. Okay, autopilot. Press up for the autopilot. Okay, I don't want to be here. Cancel that. Abort autopilot. Okay, there. Autopilot. There we go. So I want Adel Rock. We'll stick to Adel Rock for now. Okay, now I'm approaching it. So yeah, the game switches from red to blue when you're changing velocities. That's cool. So once we reach orbit, then we can land. But we're gonna play it a little bit more gently this time. ZL. Da, 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 crap. Okay, we're doing fine. Just don't fall too far, I guess. We've reached terminal velocity. Let's see how terminal. Yep, that's bad. Okay, that's better. Slow down, slow down. Da, 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 da. Cockpit view, maybe? Whoop, we bounced. Bounce, Negro. That. How do we capture velocity? Why? Yeah, we're bouncing too much. Cockpit view. We could do a scout launcher. I mean, are we matching? Yeah, what's a safe? Whoop, careful. A to match landing? No, that's a boost. We don't want to boost. Lift off landing camera. Okay, we're here. Unbuckle then. We made it. We didn't die this time. Woo! That's one small step for a black man. One giant leap for 2 points. You can do mad dunks here, am I right? Mad hops here on Adel Rock. Let the music play down on Adel Rock. Where are we going? We have to That was a John Semper joint from back in the 80s, right? Before he worked on Spider-Man. Yeah, I think he worked on what was it? The Super Friends, not Super Friends. It was yeah, it wasn't Super Friends. It was the Legend of the Superpowers or something like that. Codex, of course. No voice acting in this game, I guess. We're on a timer, aren't we? Like I don't know what the fail state is, other than me crashing into the planet and dying horribly. But yeah, so I can't pick this up. Whoop. Refill the jetpack. I don't really need that. Can I just take it with me? Oh, I'm on an oxygen count. Okay, so my limited resource is the oxygen. That can't be good. Flashlight. Signal scope. Hold on. It saw a thing. It's probably on the other side of the planet, unfortunately. Yeah, a thing was found. So we're at 40% Earth gravity, I guess. Or 40% home gravity. Well, can't go down there. So the question is, based on the oxygen we have left, where can we actually go? Like, can we mine that? Put away. Scout launcher, maybe? And this seems reasonably interesting. I just don't know what to do with it. Like, I can't pick up the matic, the little pickaxe. Okay, so launcher. This is kind of cool though. Let's see what happens once we get over the hill. Whoops, that's not great. So hold the R button down to retrieve it. Okay. Whoop, don't give me that. All right, so let's see if we can go over the hook. See if we can go over the moon. Woo! I think we put it into orbit. Yeah, I think we put it into orbit. Maybe we should not. We shouldn't have done that. You lost a scout, dump. You lost your Scott. You lost a scout, dingus. Yeah, we're not getting it back. Oh well. Rear view snapshot. Yeah, I think we literally launched into orbit. But it teleports back to us because it's a video game. That is cute though. I'm having a little fun with that. Steph Curry range. Woo! 3 points. You can rotate the camera if you need to. Let's go higher. There we go. Hmm. Didn't seem to be doing anything interesting, I'm afraid. So if you launch it into orbit, you might actually be able to look around the entire planetoid, which sounds cool. Am I losing battery power? First of all, I'm definitely losing oxygen. So I'll tell you what, we had our fun. Again, this was a research stream. We'll do actual exploration later. My oxygen's back, so that's good. Maybe I can go to another side of the planet. I'll retrieve the scout. Okay. Put away the scout. Okay, let's see. See beyond the horizon, which is always good. Illuminate dark areas. Detect hazards. Test the environment. Legit. View the ship log. So maybe we'll find them later. We're not going to do all this. We're not going to find anything useful in this video. So yeah. Curious about this one. I have fuel here, right? No. Here. I can refuel the jetpack. So can I keep coming back here to refuel it? That might be cool. Let's go to another side of the planet, see what's up. Nothing fancy. Hopefully we have enough fuel. Match velocity. There we go. So I'm trying to go to another side of the planet. So let's try to go over the horizon. Not too far, though. Whoop, careful. Not too far, not too far, not too far. Autopilot. So maybe there's nothing on the other side? Now there's something down there. I can see it, barely. That, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. We got to match velocity. So now that so we need to match velocity. Then we can land. I did see a thing down there. Stop! What was that? Oh, I guess we're out. I guess that is the thing I wanted to see, though. Okay, that's not too bad. Like, I remember a Giant Bomb did a quick look of this, and they were like crash landing in oceans and stuff, and that's the part of the game that seems really fascinating to me. Like going all in on the No Man's Sky, but with Super Mario Galaxy like planetoids. Okay, there was a thing. There it is. We got a thing here. Actual man-made structures. Now we're talking. You know, there's No Man's Sky, there's Starfield, there's Mass Effect, and then there's this. You can jump. Dad'll make you jump, jump. Daddy Mac will make you jump, jump. So not picking up the banjo. Yeah, like playing, like sending music out into space. Like imagine, like I said, I always think it's hilarious. Imagine if you're an alien race that's just like an underwater species and you look like dolphins. You don't speak English. You're underwater. You're like 5 miles under the dirt because that's the only place on the planet where life can thrive. And human beings keep sending these dumb rocks, spewing this Chuck Berry music that I'm sure a dolphin would never be able to understand. Now, a bird, maybe you drop some Backstreet Boys into space, and these alien avians might be able to they'll nod their head like those birds do in the videos on YouTube. But I think it's always hilarious that some like extremely advanced like single-celled amoeba is gonna like care about Beethoven. Like, can we at least like maybe they communicate with odors? Like maybe Beethoven is maybe sending out rocks in this, maybe sending out, yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe sending like, opera into space isn't how the single-celled amoebas on, Andromeda 5 want to live. Like maybe they're just like chilling, like sucking on methane from the core of their ice planet. And they don't really care about Beethoven. Like maybe they want to explore the universe, but they're kind of busy like fighting a war. Maybe they're too busy fighting a war with the plankton people. You know what I mean? Oh, hold on. Signal scope. We have just enough oxygen to find it. Hold on, we got a thing. Oh, he's whistling. Hi, sailor. Shoot. What's your oxygen, dude? Yeah, what's your oxygen, dude? Yeah, I'm your boy, Major Tom. I'm Major Tom Petty. I'm running down a dream. Living like a refugee. Hold on, what are we doing? Not the Traveler? Okay. Well, what is this place? Huh. Yeah, the number of fires. So you're like Don Cheadle in Mission to Mars, huh? I will see. I saw that movie on DVD. I kind of want to see it again. I remember it not being amazing, but I remember parts of it being very good. The ending is a complete and utter cluster, by the way. Like the ending to Mission to Mars is like everything that was bad about the director's cut ending of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And what's worse, I guess it's like the ending to a Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like, yeah, literally explain all of human existence in 2 minutes. It's like everything that was subtext in 2001, the Kubrick film, ultimately just became like an expo dump with terrible CGI at the end of that movie. Such a terrible ending. Like it feels like, that we screen tested this movie. We don't want to do what Kubrick did. We'll just literally explain all of the things, and that became the ending to the movie. I think it what was it the I think NYU screened that film, and the audience was so peeved they were throwing crap at the screen when that movie ended. I don't blame them. I wouldn't be so obnoxious about it, but I don't blame them. That ending was really bad. Like really, like you could obviously improve it with better special effects, but just the whole idea of having an expo dub ending, like a 5 minute explanation of the entire universe, told with a narrator, and of course there was the crying alien, which I'm sure everyone hates. Okay, what were you whistling? Yeah, so that's why I was able to hear him. Oh, go to the North Pole. That's cool. So just go north again. Yeah. Okay, so can I leave my? Okay, so I got full. So I got full oxygen now. Okay, which explains why the fire is going, obviously. So I guess there is some atmosphere on this rock. Yeah, I will be playing more of this. Not now. I think when I rent this game again, I'll commit to the bit. Like if I'm lucky enough to find this game, during Halloween, because if my employer decides to have us like stay home all week, like what they sometimes do is they shut down the entire facility for the end of the year. They do cleanup. So in order to do cleanup, people don't have to be there. They shut things down. They run some tests. They you know scrub everything. Like everything gets scrubbed down. I believe. I don't know. I'm not part of the. But yeah, they have people here doing like basic like don't break anything while you're here. Let people in so they can do the cleaning, supervise the cleaning. But it's like I want to say it's like a lot of half day stuff. I don't know. So now what? We found them, right? This is probably a good place to end the video. There's actually trees here. That's right. That's right. He said there were saplings here. Yeah. So we brought some saplings here. So yeah, obviously, it's kind of like that dreamy vibe. It's the whole if yeah people. I don't really dream about space because it's not really in my aesthetic. Admittedly, I it's weird if you haven't placed space or the universe into your mental aesthetic, then yeah, I can imagine. I don't have dreams about space or zero gravity. Now it's entirely possible if we see a bunch of video games like this in the future, like the next No Man's Sky. Like people hate open world games, right? People are sick of them. The aesthetic cycle is going to return. So the next big video game will probably be like some Outer Worlds. Yeah, it'll be Breath of the Wild in space. If this is Majora's Mask. Hold on, slow down. So yeah, if how do I save by the way? So if Breath of the Wild in space will probably be like the next big video game. You think they can make a Metroid game like this, but now they're too busy doing it. Yeah. Again, speaking of horror video games, space horror video games, Super Metroid Metroid. The Metroid trilogy, the original Metroid trilogy, was arguably a space horror game. And Metroid Prime kind of leaned into it, but again, I don't play those games for those reasons. I play them because they're exploration based. So can I like save the game? Freeze time and talking to. Yeah, that's probably it. Can we do that? There are certain periods of time. Okay, so time keeps moving and time matters in this game because stuff is happening elsewhere in the universe. So I guess it's kind of like Shenmue in space. You have to keep appointments, so you have to do things on a clock. You have to kill time till the appointment is available. It's a day-night cycle, you know. I don't want to quit, but I kind of want to like end the game here just because I want to end the video. I will come back and play more of this. This is just a research stream to see what, the game is actually letting me do. So we'll view the ship log in a second. Let me have my fuel back. Let me yeah, I can refuel. So if I can refuel anywhere, that's good. Captain's log, October 26, 2024. So I did a thing. So we got another rumored entry. Yeah. So that's my home planet. Okay, so you're basically unlocking, yeah. You can obviously speedrun this game. I guess the whole idea is to kind of like follow breadcrumbs, talk to quest givers that unlock new quests, and these are the quests. So yeah, this game sounds really fascinating, actually. So again, games I've been meaning to get to by the end of the year, hopefully, because I don't do best of the year lists. I review games that I played the previous year, and so far, like your No Man's Sky patches sound interesting. That game seems to have finally been fixed. So if I end up doing a diary for 2024, I'll end up getting around to that. Sonic Frontiers is an old game, but it turned out to be shockingly good. So that's going to be a gatekeeper game in terms of like if your game is better than Sonic Frontiers, you would be on a hypothetical best of the year list. Sonic Frontiers is shockingly good. I say it's a solid B game. It might be a B plus game if I play more of it, but I was genuinely surprised by how much I liked that game. This game sounds interesting, but it's the kind of game I might have to come back to later. Um, yeah, this I've been going through. I got to go through a bunch of PS3 games. We'll see how it goes. But I would love to be able to mark to save my progress, and I probably can't. But I know how to get back here, basically. Mark location on HUD. What is that? Oh, okay. So maybe I can mark it on the HUD. So I have a waypoint now, then, huh? How do I zoom in? Oh, ZL and ZR, sorry. Oh, okay, I already know that. I successfully repaired another satellite, okay. Okay, so I don't need that. Yeah, I don't need that on my HUD. Because I already know what's there. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. And what's this? View entry. Okay. So we always know where he is now. And what's this? View entry. Oh, okay. I guess that was the North Pole he was talking about. Okay. So let me mark that just in case. Yeah, mark it. I think that's where we are actually. The little pier. The pier in the middle of the rock ocean, I guess. The moon rock ocean. We're gonna end the video. It's like 90 minutes long already. There it is. Okay, so maybe I can look for signals here. We'll end the video shortly. I keep promising that, but I need to actually leave. I said I was going to play a video game before I hopped out, so here we are. Whoops! Mad hops. Ow! Try that again. Don't leave the planet. Let's try that again. Literally Space Jam. Okay, we good? Still not picking up Ryback spawn, Joe. I'm sure they're fine. Yes. Someone bring back Banjo, right, Microsoft? Is this Switch version the only physical version of the game that's available? Because that's also our miserable future, I guess, is that only handheld consoles will have physical copies of video games. Everything else will be digital only. Okay, where's our signal scope? Yeah, we got. See? Zoom in. I heard a harmonica. Yep, I heard the harmonica. Do I have to zoom in? Yeah, that was a planet, so let's make sure we have the planet. I can't get closer. So you can hear harmonicas on the planet. That's cute. That is cute. Like there. But we can't actually like mark it, can we? See, we're just teasing the rest of the playlist at this point. So we'll be playing. I think, yeah, an hour into Horizon Forbidden West, I'm like, 2 hours into it, I'm like, okay, whatever. But an hour into this, I'm like, okay, this seems interesting. Let's see where this actually ends up. This actually might be cool. Now, how do I save the game? Is the problem? I guess I can restart the loop. So we'll end the game, we'll end the video by restarting the loop. So does that stuff remain like unlocked, or do I have to start from the beginning and unlock all? Because I'm fine with that. Because this was me kind of figuring out where to go. So we'll end the video by figuring out what we're doing. Let me resume the expedition I'm already on. Okay. So I recorded this with my Plantronics headset, plugged into my quad-core Celeron 1.1 gigahertz laptop, Windows 10 Education with the 4 gigs of RAM, at least 1600 MTs as I recall. The Windows 10 camera app is capturing this footage at 60 frames a second. Waste of time. You should only have to. This game is only 30, so I should not have captured this at 60. The game's only 30 at most. The cartridge is what? It's version 1.1. Yeah, it's version 1.14. So yeah, it's been patched, obviously. And it's the Archaeologist edition of Outer Wilds from Annapurna. And the footage is being recorded via this J5 Create 4K UHD capture box. It's got an HDMI pass-through, so I can play it on my TV with relatively low input latency relative to my capture device, which is being plugged in via USB-C cable. I probably could just play this game on my laptop without using my TV. And again, people say that Switch games, you aren't supposed to play Switch games on a. Yeah, you're not supposed to play Switch games on a. Oh, the launch codes are Morse code on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I guess I was expecting numbers to fill in those dots. Yeah. There is no time loop. So let me see what the ship logs, because there's no way for me to see the ship log from here, is there? There's no way for me to see the ship log. Let's actually go into the ship, I guess. So let's see what's been unlocked. Like I said, I don't mind playing this game from the beginning. And where's the log? Right over here. Let's see. I probably didn't even need the suit if my boy on that planet was able to like light a fire and crap. Unless the atmosphere is so thin you can't jump without losing oxygen. Dying horribly. Okay, so this stuff stays in my stuff stays on my mental map. That's cool. Okay, so that's good to know. So we can actually stop playing this game. Okay, see, I'll come back and play more of this. Like I said, 2 hours into Sandland, blah. 2 hours into Horizon Forbidden West, blah. An hour into this, I'm that meme of the dude who's like looking at the camera, is like, lower lip protruding. Interesting. By the way, this physical edition of Outer Wilds includes a star map, kind of nice, neatly folded into the game. I'm probably gonna. It's like imagine me folding this map back into place. No one knows how to refold a map. Your boy loves maps, but I prefer them and stapled into books with spines and stuff. The dog bramble. Hollow's lantern, brittle hollow. So where did I make it? I made it to Addle Rock, which is the only satellite of this planet apparently. The Hourglass Twins, which is the closest planet to the sun. So there's one, two, three, four, five planets. An interloper comet. Addle Rock is a satellite. Hollow's Lantern is the satellite for Brittle Hollow. Giant's Deep has a satellite orbiting it apparently. And Dark Bramble has no satellites. But a reasonably sized open world / universe, I suppose. Yeah. So yeah, I'm feeling my oats a little bit. I got a good night's sleep. My brain's firing on all cylinders. Didn't need caffeine, but unfortunately, this is the time of year where you're supposed to be going to sleep early, just in time, let your circadian rhythms reset. So when the clocks inevitably go back, you'll be prepared. I got up at 5:30 last week. I mean, I usually get up later than that, so my brain is prepared for the. I'm going to sleep at like 8:30, 9 o'clock if I can. So my brain is prepared for the inevitable rollback to winter, to the Game of Thrones like winter that's inevitably coming. But yeah, I'll be playing more of this later. But I gotta take this back to the library and get an actual internet connection. I want to borrow some bandwidth, then go back to playing what I normally do. I gotta play a bunch of baseball games because it's October. So I'll bust out the Super Game Boy, play some Roger Clemens, play some Super Batter Up. I think I already played MLB The Show on this channel, so I'll get around to that. And what's the other one? There's another baseball game I'm supposed to be playing. You want a couple on the Super NES, one on the Super Game Boy, and I don't have a baseball game on the Genesis that I feel like playing right now, so we'll stick with that. Anyway, we're done with Outer Wilds Research Stream number 1 for now on the Switch.